I originally did not want to watch The Rings of Power. It honestly did not hold any appeal for me. I've spoken about other things that I've watched, some things on my radar, and an 8-part miniseries, that's kind of a lot to ask. Coming off my youngest son's recommendation of The Midnight Club, which was great by the way, I had this other recommendation given to me by my youngest sister. She said, watch Rings of Power. It's amazing. It'll make you want to watch the originals all over again. I thought to myself, boy, oh boy, do I really want to plunge right back into a miniseries? I mean, my youngest son is already telling me that I should watch The Boys, and that has 3 seasons. So let me commit to this 1-season miniseries, The Rings of Power. I mean, there's only 8 parts to it, an hour each. I could probably get it done in a week or 2. The thing is, when I started watching it, I couldn't stop watching it. I consumed 8 episodes just over a weekend, which is no small feat considering the fact that over that very same weekend, I watched Black Panther, completed 4 videos for this channel, and wrote scripts for 5 more videos to come. I just couldn't stop watching. I was compelled to see what happened next. It was mesmerizing. Now, did it drag in parts? Yes. I just kept asking myself, please, I just want to get to the next thing. Can we push forward? Do we have to linger on things? Just give him the damn apple so he could go. Just kiss the human so you can get to the fighting part. Just shut up so you can get off this island. And even while I was silently pleading all these things, I also noticed that it's those moments that we need to cherish, because in the fighting or the horrible things that happen, we need to remember the good parts and have them linger a little bit longer, just as Gandalf did in The Hobbit. There's a part where Bilbo climbs up a tree and he says, there are moments that can change a person's life forever. And I suddenly wondered if I'd ever see my snug hobbit hole again. I wondered if I actually wanted to. We need to hold on to the good parts, to relish those moments, to see the beauty in the small, because those moments are fleeting and time marches on, and we won't always be in the trees with the butterflies. Sometimes we'll be beneath those trees, ensnared in the spider's web. So let's get to it. Galadriel was a petulant child. She ran around, oh boo-hoo, my brother died, and later we find out her husband died. So I'm gonna go for thousands of years trying to kill and to extinction the orcs. Fine, I understand that. It's a bitter kind of revenge story. She's a little bit too much to take sometimes. But I like the fact that in her flaws, she has to pay for the consequences of her misdeeds. Mouth off to a queen, get thrown in a dungeon. Try to start something, eventually you have to be punished and relieved of your command and sent to the west. You know, basically their heaven. Jump off the boat and not go to heaven? Well, you invite Sauron to destroy the world. Spoiler alert, Sauron destroys the world, dun dun dun. No, he doesn't destroy the world. But Mordor is created by some weird guy that's not Sauron, and they try to pull like this hat trick to say, Gandalf's actually Sauron. We all knew it wasn't. If you read any of the books and any bit of the previous works that weren't quite books, but they were just kind of notes, you knew that Sauron spent some time on the island learning how to craft things. You knew that he had his hand in working with the elves to make their rings, and he made his own ring in secret. So it wasn't much of a big surprise, but I guess to some who didn't know, it was probably like a dun 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 moment. But like I said, Galadriel kind of paid the price because she was too bold in her moves and she didn't listen to wisdom, which I always thought was part of the elves' kind of DNA. They were like wise without even knowing why they were wise. But I guess with her, she had to grow up a little bit. I like the fact that they centered around her story and the fact that her triumphs and tragedies kind of shaped Middle-earth the way it became. So, in a way, when we see her in the Lord of the Rings, she's got one of the rings and she's not fighting. Maybe she's put down the sword because maybe she should never have picked up the sword. You know, It's funny, people always think we need to fight with violence. But sometimes fighting the enemy is doing the exact opposite of what the enemy does to you. You fight hate with love. You fight evil with goodness. When a tree is burnt down, you plant a new one. You don't burn their trees down. Perhaps if Galadriel had learned in the past how to do that, maybe we wouldn't have had The Lord of the Rings. But of course, I don't know if this was canon or not. I do know that they spent a lot of money, and it does show. The beautiful scenes, the ships, Numenor, the Middle Earth, the Southlands, some sort of pre-Hobbit, thing that goes around, Bigfoots or Proudfoots or something. I liked it all. I thought it was fun and entertaining and engrossing. I enjoyed my time watching it. And that's all you could ever ask for a kind of made-for-TV kind of thing. A lot of people put a little bit too much pressure on these kind of streaming-only services to provide something that is movie-esque or cinema-esque, without actually thinking that perhaps it's good to have a share of both. You can watch the movies if you'd like. You can watch the TV shows if you like. You can watch them both. But to have a variety like that does wonders. It's like tilling the soil. Sometimes you just have to uproot some things, move them around, change some things, and replant. I really enjoyed The Rings of Power. I thought it was a neat addition to the lore, and I hope that they do another season. I'm kind of worried they won't because there was a large backlash. I'm not exactly sure why the backlash happened, but I think a lot of it is because there's a lot of negativity in this world today. And instead of looking towards things that are good, we just dwell on things that are bad. Was it a perfect show? No. Did it have flaws? Yes. Were some of the characters a little bit off? Perhaps. But I rather look to the things that made me laugh, smile, and bring a tear to my eye than stuff that made me groan, grimace, or even roll my eyes. It's kind of like what Tolkien said. You have to look to the light. We won't always be here, so let's enjoy the things, the moments, and the shows while we still have time. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. For more videos, please click the links above.